We are Muskegon County at Work, spotlighting workers of local governments throughout our county, revealing what it takes to make our communities comfortable and safe. Hello, everybody. Your host here, DJ Hilson, for yet another episode of Muskegon County Municipalities at Work, and where we get to explore the various units of government, both at the county and local municipal level. And today, I have the distinct honor and privilege and pleasure to interview a good friend of mine, Mike Bauw, who is the director of the Muskegon County Veterans Affairs Office. Mike.
Good morning, DJ.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for being here today, I should say. And what I always like to do to start off the program is to have my guests talk a little bit about themselves, background, and how you got to where you are.
Okay. Well, I enlisted in the Navy in 1987. Did 10 years active duty. Ended up 14 years in the reserves, retired out of that. What happened was I ended up coming into the county of Muskegon in 2012. Got hired into a position. Talked to the county administrator at the time to move me into the county Department of Veterans Affairs position. And my predecessor retired, and here I am.
So let's talk a little bit about, and you could maybe even educate me on this, but the Department of Veterans Affairs at the county level,
okay.
Is that a unique office, or do we see that, either across the state or across the nation?
So in Michigan, there's 83 counties. Not all of them have a county Department of Veterans Affairs with veteran service officers. Some of the UP smaller counties don't, but the majority do. And we are the stepping stone to get you, the veteran, or the surviving spouse in touch with potential benefits through the federal VA or the state VA. So instead of trying to walk it through and navigate the system on your own, our people help you navigate that through.
Now, this department has been in existence for how long here at Muskegon?
This department's been in existence since 1984, 87. It was run by managed by a nonprofit, but since 2018, it's become a county-only entity, no nonprofit involved.
So ultimately, you are, like many county departments, you answer to the county administrator and the county board.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, can you describe a little bit to our viewers here the services that the department offers?
So the services that we must offer, that we shall offer according to state laws, we shall provide a burial allowance to a war-era veteran or a war-era surviving spouse. We shall provide soldier sailors relief while there's still money in the budget to do so to that same war-era veteran and that same war-era spouse. We have to, of course, establish a need. Those are the musts. Anything else that we do is above and beyond. So we have 3 accredited service officers in our office who provide claims assistance. We are getting a DAV, Disabled American Vets service officer, full-time in about 4 to 8 weeks. And we have a part-time American Legion service officer doing the same thing. So if a veteran wants to file a claim with the VA, wants to appeal a claim, wants to file for burial benefits, the spouse wants to apply for spousal benefits, they want to apply for VA health care, we help them do that. In addition to that, we team up with the federal VA, and if you are a homeless vet, we will put you in touch with the federal VA's homeless vet social workers who have HUD-VASH vouchers potentially, or the Volunteers of America. So we put you in touch with the other tools. We also are unique in that we have a food pantry here, which is funded 100% by donated dollars and donated product, which does not prevent me from going outside the county lines with that food. So that veteran from Ferrysburg comes into our office, wants to file a claim. In the process of filing the claim, we find out that they're struggling financially. We can let them go home with food because it's not millage funded stuff.
So talk a little bit about, historically over, the how the government, I'll say, has treated or supported our veterans has changed over time. And in your experience, what have you seen as positive changes that have really shown the true support that our veterans deserve?
So the federal government and the state government, both. I'll start with state. I used to work with one of our state reps. We established some state laws. Well, we got them pushed through. They became state laws, which benefited the veteran for education purposes, benefited the veteran for the driver's license purpose, put the veteran ID card on there. On the federal level, you can see we have a brand new VA clinic on Apple Avenue. It's state-of-the-art. The PACT Act, it's all part of the PACT Act that happened in August of 2022. And that PACT Act, actually, we'll just start with that one. That increased the variety, the range of benefits to veterans that not just served during the Vietnam era, but also during the Gulf War in Afghanistan and the War on Terror, expanded all the benefits. So a really good example of that. We have a veteran who served in Vietnam. He was supposed to, during Vietnam, he was on a troop transport ship on the way to Vietnam. They turned him around. He pulled into Guam for a night to get fuel and food. Then they went home. Prior to August 10, 2022, he was eligible for nothing because he didn't go to Vietnam. The federal government opened up the PACT Act, and that expanded the Agent Orange presumptives to Guam during a certain window, to Thailand, Laos, Cambodia. Well, we found his ship's deck logs. We traced it. He went to Guam for a day. We submitted the claim. He went from getting his 10% for hearing loss to 70% disability for his other health conditions. And that's happening across the entire country right now. I think that is the federal government supporting the veterans and the population better than they've ever done before.
Which is great to hear and great to see. And I think, again, something that this country owes the men and women who've decided to lay their lives down to protect its freedom. So I appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about that brand new shiny facility out on Apple Avenue. What's that all about?
That is a VA clinic. Right now it is a VA clinic that offers the same services they offered when they were on Hakes Drive. The goal, according to the public affairs folks in Battle Creek, is to eventually have a audiology lab in there, eventually have possibly a pharmacy, eventually have other things that are offered at the Wyoming clinic that are not offered here. Maybe physical therapy, not sure. But the intent is, of course, they expanded it. It's huge, 30,000 square foot facility, something like that. And it's twice as large as the one that they had on Hakes Drive. So by being able to expand the size, now they got to find bodies to work, and they got to find equipment. Then they can prevent the veteran from Montague, who has to go to physical therapy, potentially, prevent him from having to drive all the way to Wyoming to get his physical therapy, sit in the car all the way there, get stiff all the way back home. Physical therapy did nothing. So they can prevent that potentially if they offer those services at this facility.
So obviously even these clinics, it sounds like, are more regionalized. Now we're being able to offer that to the folks here a little bit north of Grand Rapids and along the lake shore.
Correct. That was the idea.
Okay. The other thing that I think I want you to highlight is, you mentioned it a couple of times, is that obviously the benefits are for the veteran, for their service, but it also carries over to the spouse. Talk a little bit about that, because I think that's significant that people might not know.
Okay, so there's a misconception. I encounter it probably once a week, twice a week. The veteran tells the surviving spouse before he or she passes away, "When I die, you get my benefits." that's a fallacy. So what the benefit is called is a disability compensation. Well, if you're no longer alive, you no longer have a disability, the compensation goes away. So what we do is, as long as the cause of death, or one of the causes of death, are associated with his time in service, and the VA has already given him a disability for that, then we can go ahead and apply for the surviving spouse to receive what they call dependency indemnity compensation, which translates to about $1,700 a month, tax exempt, which is nice money. It provides the surviving spouse with CHAMP VA health care, which is nice. And if none of that works out, so the veteran didn't pass away from a service-connected disability, the veteran passed away from hitting a deer with his car. Car accident's the cause of death, nothing there. Now we can apply for what they call a survivor's pension, which is going to be an income-based program. And so you got to be below poverty, and it brings you just about to poverty. So it's not the best program, but it's a program. But we really strive to find the DIC beneficiaries.
So obviously, if you are within the boundaries of Muskegon County, and you are married to a veteran, the Department of Veterans Affairs has individuals in the department that can help spouses navigate what you've just described.
That's correct. And I'm not going to say it's poaching, but there are people who live in northern Ottawa who come to our office, southern Oceania who come to our office. There's people from Montague who go to Newaygo and Oceania. It's just more convenient for the drive. So the service officer work is not confined to the boundaries of the county. Only the providing the soldiers and sailors relief is because that's monetary.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because I know, at least from personal experience, I've seen that in action.
Right.
How does that work?
The soldier sailors relief?
Yes.
Okay. So we are restricted to a certain dollar amount per year per veteran and per instance per veteran, based on our Veterans Advisory Committee who oversees our spends. So if you, DJ, are the veteran and you, for whatever reason, this month, you had a car repair that needed to be done, you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't afford to pay your light bill, you can bring your DD-214 down to our office, fill out our application, demonstrate the need, right? And then we can go ahead and assist you with that, potentially assist you with that light bill and whatever else you might need. Now, if you come in and say, I just paid for a cruise to Alaska and I can't afford my light bill, that might be a different conversation.
But obviously, I mean, again, we're talking about because veterans come in all I mean, in some respects like regular civilians. Correct. Veterans. I think a lot of times people think, well, you served in the military, they're going to take care of you, right?
Right.
You're going to be living comfortably for the rest of your existence, and that is sometimes true. But we do have veterans who are struggling, whether it be homelessness.
That's correct.
Dealing with the issues of PTSD and sort of the indirect coping mechanisms related to that, brain injuries, all those things that they may have experienced or suffered during their time in the service are real.
They are real, and they have a long-term, lifelong effect.
And so beyond the, I'll say the sort of the support services, the financial support services, what does the department have as it relates to mental health assistance, or at least connecting to other various agencies or resources throughout the state?
So we like to get, if that veteran is not in the VA healthcare system today, which the healthcare system has a wonderful mental health program, multiple programs. So we will try to get them into the VA clinic for healthcare. None of us in our office are social workers. We're not going to lead you down that right path, but we will get you to the right department, the Department of Federal Veterans Affairs, the VHA. And if that doesn't work, so I'll use the veteran who got a dishonorable discharge, is not going to get VA healthcare. They lost that. So we're gonna guide that. We're gonna introduce that person to the the veteran navigator at Health West. And the veteran navigator at Health West will put that veteran in the Health West's mental health program. So we'll still get them the mental health care they need, but we'll do it either way. It's going to be through Health West. Well, we'll lead them to it, to the Health West or to the VA.
Ultimately, I think one of the most important messages that people need to understand that if you are a veteran yourself or you are related to a veteran, and you're wondering if they are I guess experiencing the full benefits that they have earned and deserved, they probably should come and see you guys at the department.
They should absolutely call and make an appointment and come in and see us. We need to do that. The worst thing that can happen is we put in the application and the federal VA says no. That's the worst that can happen. But I will make you a guarantee. I'll make all of them a guarantee. If you don't come and apply, you're guaranteed nothing.
Right. It's true. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's correct.
Now, I'm going to say for the non-military who might not be, you use the term DD-214, which is an important form.
That's correct.
Can you explain that, please?
So that is the discharge papers. When you get out of the military, after World War II, when you got out of the military, they issued the DD-214, the DD-214 Department of Defense, because we didn't have a Department of Defense in World War II. We had the War Department. So we have the Department of Defense form DD-214. It tells when you entered the service, when you got out of the service, all the ribbons and medals you received when you were in, what your character of discharge was, whether it be dishonorable, other than honorable, medical discharge, whatever it might be. We're going to use that. That is your key. That piece of paper is your key to getting any benefits. Now, if you don't have a DD-214 on you because you lost it, it got burnt at somebody burnt it in the fire pit, whatever happened, the dog ate it. If you got out of the service after the year 2000, I can probably acquire your DD-214 within about 5 hours. Anything prior to the year 2000, I'm going to direct you to call the state of Michigan, see if they've got it. And if they don't have it, we're going to go to the National Personnel Records Center and we're going to wait.
So ultimately, for folks out there who are veterans and maybe they're not aware of the services that are available to them, and they're obviously the department is there to help navigate that.
Yep.
And if you don't have this key, which I've learned is really important piece of paper.
It's an important piece of paper.
There are avenues again through the department to help you obtain that.
That's correct.
Let's talk a little bit about your connection to the Muskegon County Veterans Treatment Court.
Okay.
I think this is really important to discuss along with your presence here today, because obviously at a state and federal level, the department that you are director of and at a federal level, they play a really key role in making that court work.
They do.
Can you describe that, please?
As best I can. I would actually defer this to the prosecutor.
But I'm the host, so you got to answer the question.
So we have yes, I was part of the group that initially founded the Veterans Treatment Court for Muskegon County. And so I've been with it since its inception. And I serve in that court, I serve as the mentors coordinator. I'm the person who relays any mentors information back to the leadership team and before court every day. But the Veterans Treatment Court, we are successful. By the numbers, we're successful. We've had failures. We've had people that just didn't complete it. They didn't catch on. They didn't do what they needed to do. But the success rate, according to our probation officer, Craig Jousma, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 70-75%, which is way above the state average of 50-55%, somewhere in there. And we're seeing veterans coming into the program who are broken. We've had people facing their third DUIs, their fourth DUI, whatever it might be, and they navigate, they get sober, they stay sober. 2 of them even founded an AA group that meets in my building every week. So we've seen successes. We've seen great successes. And I think we're going to continue to see them.
And obviously, the premise of this court, it's a treatment court, a specialty court, as we call it, for veterans who have served and have found themselves in trouble with the criminal justice system.
That's correct.
You mentioned drunk driving and whatnot. And these are individuals who, I think the term broken is appropriate. And the court is designed in a way, if I'm not mistaken, to treat the ability for them to cope with whatever is going on mentally, usually because of their service.
It is, and the court as a whole treats it holistically. So, you the veteran come in. Yep, you're jobless, so you're broke. You're living in the shelter or living in your car. You just got picked up for your third DUI. You got to spend the last month in the jail, which is nice because you got sober a little bit. But you come in and you don't have any money coming in. So, being in that court, we're going to team you up with a veteran mentor. So a combat veteran who's going to be there for you. Kind of like a big brother, big sister concept. We're going to go ahead and tie you to VA healthcare services and get you involved in the mental health, get you involved in the physical health, get that going. We're going to get you tied in with one of our veteran service officers and start processes of filing claims for you for the things that you're broken from when you were in service. Hopefully getting you some kind of disability rating so you have income coming in, right? Safe and stability. We're going to try to get you housed. We're going to work with the Volunteers of America. We're going to work with the VA, Lisa Mathis and her team to see if we can't get you a HUD-VASH voucher or some kind of housing somewhere. The judge is very particular about making sure you're safe and you're secure, you're financially secure, and you're healthy. And we're going to keep those going. And hopefully with the help and the advice and the guidance from the mentor that you're attached to or you're assigned to, you're going to be able to maintain that sobriety and get your life back in order and get moving in the right direction, your thoughts the right ways. And
yeah, I mean, I would agree with you that this court has absolutely changed people's lives for the better. In fact, of the mentors, the veteran mentors that you've talked about, how many are recent or are graduates of that program?
You know what? We've got at least 6, maybe 8 off the top of my head right here, who went through the program. Yeah, didn't buy into it in the first 3 to 6 months. But then the light turned on. They bought into it. They successfully completed the court. They realized that the camaraderie that was there, the connection was important enough that they wanted to come back and be a mentor themselves to the upcoming participants. And we've got more that are saying they want to do it again. So we've got plenty of those. And it's a great thing. Other counties around us think it's a horrible idea. I think it's a fabulous idea. No one's going to know that participants blowing smoke more than the one who was just there.
Yep.
Yep. And that one that was just there knows what they're going through. Me personally, I don't know what they're going through. I didn't have to report for colors 5 days a week. I didn't have to go report for my weekly probation call. I didn't have to manage my time schedule and juggle all the things. But those mentors who were participants before, they know, they understand, and they can give that really good advice.
It's fantastic. Well, I really appreciate you being a part of the groundbreaking, if you will, of this court, which has been I agree, has been very successful. Let's talk a little bit about the other couple aspects. Veterans Memorial Park.
Yes.
The one, if you drive north on the causeway, you see it on both sides.
Yep.
Does the department have anything to do with that?
We do. Financially, we are our millage funds. We are responsible for 35% of the annual cost of maintenance. But we're also responsible for maintaining the flags that are there, making sure that the flags when they need to be replaced, we buy the flags, the city replaces them, they do the maintenance. We're also responsible for, if you want to purchase a memorial marker on the walkway for your veteran or yourself, you can contact our office and purchase one. We do have a group of volunteers on May 9 going out there. Unfortunately, I'm going to be a Debbie Downer here. Unfortunately, in 2024, it was discovered that we had 97 of those bronze markers that were picked up and they seemed to run away. So county insurance was able to pay for the replacements. We have the replacements. So if you are a person who's missing a marker when you walk through the park, please understand that around May 9th, May 15th will be the rain day. There will be people out there replacing those markers. They're in boxes, they're in our office, and you'll have brand new markers out there May 9th or May 15th.
Obviously, if you're, veteran or civilian and you walk that park, you can appreciate how important those markers are as you walk that sidewalk around.
They are. It is just people, and you'll see different things. Some of those markers you'll see KIA on there, so they never made it home. But you also have monuments that are out there. The most recent monument is on the north end of the park. If you're standing facing the flags, Norm's is on your left-hand side. Everyone knows Norm's. There's a monument just before the sidewalk, off of the flags, that memorializes the 4 soldiers that we have lost since 9/11 from Muskegon County. We've only lost 4. Could be more.
Yeah,
but we've lost 4.
That's it's a great tribute again to the men and women who have served this country and the local folks that make that commitment every day. Last bit of information I want you to provide: where is the department located, and how do people get in contact?
So the County of Muskegon, purchased Baker College campus. So if you know where Baker College is, you know where MCC is. The Baker College campus is now Muskegon County administrative offices. Yes, Baker is still using a third of the property. So what you want to do for us is you want to go to 1903 Marquette. You want to plug that in your GPS. You want to go to the main entrance that is facing the MCC baseball fields. There are 63 doors, exterior doors in that building. So if you go to the wrong door, you're going to have a fun time finding us. But if you go to the one that's right across from the MCC baseball fields, walk towards the main entrance, you'll see an arrow with our departmental logo on it, points to another door off a sidewalk. Go in there and we're inside there. You can reach us at 231-724-7143. Pick your option. Option 1, you can speak with Amy. Option 2, you can speak with Dee, both accredited service officers. One does Soldier Sailors Relief, one does Trust Fund. One arranges rides for veterans to go to and from medical appointments, that's Amy, and to grocery store appointments if they're without a car. That's another service we offer I didn't talk about. I don't know my extension, but you'll get to it if you listen to the program.
So obviously, I think one of the messages I want folks to walk away from is, there are a lot of veterans, and I don't know if you know the number off the top of your head. This is sort of
11,255 Muskegon County.
There we go. Over 11,000 veterans here in Muskegon County. And certainly if you are one of those folks, or you know one of those folks, or you're related to one of those folks, and you're concerned about whatever it is related to their veteran status, whether it be health care, whether it be, mental health, or anything, please call, stop in. These folks at the department are ready to help you.
Yep, we'll put you in touch with the right people. It might be us. It might be somebody else, but we'll put you in touch with the right people.
Well, Mike, first of all, thank you for your service. I can't say that enough about the folks that have served this country, made that commitment. It means a lot to me as an American citizen to know veterans and to really appreciate what they've done. But also thank you for leading this department and putting it in the position where it is today, not only from the county level, but also from the court system. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for today. Please, for veterans out there or those who are related or know veterans, don't hesitate to reach out to the Department of Veterans Affairs. They are there for you. You've earned the right to make sure that all of your needs are taken care of. Most importantly, thank you for your service. We as a country don't exist without your commitment to lay your life down on the line. As always, this program is not possible without the ingenuity of one Michael Vogus.